Oh, I drew this? So we really are starting things off strong, are we? That is never gonna see the light of day again. Heyo guys, my name is Beta Delota, and today let's do something a bit different and look through some of my cringy art that I did as a kid, or adolescent I guess, since this is between the beginning of high school and the beginning of college. Works out somehow that it was kinda cringy and a bit immature, but that's for both of us to laugh at. So if you remember from the experience as a young fur video that I uploaded back in September, I talked about how I originally did art and sort of traced it a lot. Actually, almost all of it. And I kind of wanted to go over it in a future video because, granted, I haven't looked at this stuff since the beginning of high school, so I don't remember too much of what I did. But it's all here in a pile and it exists. Let's just look at some of the biggest mistakes in my life, because that's entertainment somehow. So for reference, I did start drawing during my sophomore year of high school, and then it ended up going all the way until my freshman year of college. Right now, I'm a senior in college. I don't remember any of what I created besides that there was a huge pile of it in a binder, so I just took it with me. And the first thing I actually drew, which really was traced, College Randall from Monsters University. If any of you guys have seen it, I don't know why I'm holding it up at an angle. I can't. Wow, am I capable of doing this? I'm gonna have a stroke while making this video. But it's a picture of Randall from his college days in his Letterman jacket that actually kind of explains why Maverick has a burgundy red Letterman jacket. I guess some things never change, but it is still fitting. This was an original piece created by some artist on Tumblr who doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, first trace piece I've ever done. But that's just one of like, yeah, we've got a long way to go. But here's another picture of him. Definitely traced this one. Even though it doesn't look like I traced it, like this looks too clean. Even for me. For some reason, when I was in my sophomore year of high school, I had this weird connection with the character. I don't know what it was. It was like the nerd trying to be a cool kid, but ended up failing. Actually, that's very relatable to how I am now. But I just wanted to draw nothing but this guy and look at art of him. The one thing I want you guys to take from this video is that it's okay to make mistakes, as long as it doesn't involve killing someone. I know that I was tracing. I stopped tracing, or I stopped art altogether. Oh, this goes a bit farther back. This is a picture that I drew of Vitani from The Lion King. Another character that I had sort of a connection with, if you saw my old video, was Copa, this sort of off-brand lion from a story that fans wanted added in but didn't work out at all. And you'll probably see some art of him sometime down the road, but this is actually one of the genuine pieces that I drew of Vitani. No, wait, nope, this was definitely traced. Oh my god, this is too... Jesus. Oh, this is... I'm remembering this. Oh, this is so... Oh, this hurts to look at. There's nothing innately wrong with it. Like if I just showed it, you guys wouldn't get it. But like I'm remembering the backstory behind this and oh my, this is some fire fuel. We'll leave it at that. Okay, you know what? This is fine. I drew Sully from Roar. I guess that was their fraternity in the movie. I haven't watched the movie in a while, so I don't clearly remember, but I remember drawing this, and it was sort of a fan art piece for an RP account on Tumblr. I'm gonna leave it at that. This is... Wow, I'm dying on the inside. This actually kind of physically hurts. Oh, I sort of remember this piece. So this is one of my college year pieces that I did of my friend Blarby. He was actually one of the guys that got me into the furry pyrocynical commentary community, and his character, or OC, or Fursona, or whatever, was Tristana from, I think it's Dota? League of Legends. I never played either and I don't care to, but either way, his character was Tristana and he wanted some fan art and I drew it. He didn't really like this, if I'm being honest, but he was a pretty cool dude. I don't know why I disconnected with him altogether, but like, if anyone knows him, tell him like, I miss him to death. He was a pretty cool guy. Okay, this is actually kind of cute. I think I drew this from scratch, but it looks a tad traced. But this is a piece of Randall again, looking cute and nerdy. I don't know why I decided to do this again, but I had a really interesting thing for just drawing things on pencil and paper. I sort of remember the context of why I drew this. So this was technically traced. This is a picture of Crocodile. I think that's the Pokemon name. I forgot that Gen 5 existed because it personally wasn't one of my favorites, but one of my old friends that I had, his name was Canned Failure, I think, had a Crocodile character and I drew him in a Letterman jacket. Again. But this actually wasn't bad, even though I think I traced this. Assume any of the art I did is traced unless I specify. Oh, here's something different. I drew Mega Charizard. Nothing really much to it. Definitely traced this. Or I based it off of an original Mega Charizard piece that I drew into this. I don't know what qualifies as tracing, but I definitely didn't print out a piece of this. I just kind of did it based off of what I was looking at. Sometimes I knew I would definitely trace, like I'd literally print out an art piece or I'd grab my iPad, throw a piece of paper over it, and just like draw over that. Like that is how how I sometimes did things, and it was really, really sad. But I don't think this is one of those pieces. Oh, here's another thing I did. I definitely traced this, but this is the old concept from Maverick, and I kind of stole it. I'm not gonna lie. We're actually halfway through this. I'm pretty happy with how we're going so far. I don't know why this is here. I don't remember printing this. I don't remember ever seeing this picture, but it's in this pile. I'm keeping this anyways. Boring, boring. Hot, but boring. That's really hot. Boring. Boring. Ooh, this is one I'm actually really happy about. Picture of Copa the Lion. Can I hold this correctly still? So this was one of the first pictures I think I've ever drawn, which I think was traced. Not fully traced, but still. I wanted to draw Copa and I drew his head and I don't know what his eye is doing. That is very concerning. And at the time I was quite proud of how it turned out. And it kind of actually jump-started the rest of what I would be doing, which is 90% tracing. Here's this drawing of a Shiba dog with a Boris hat. I don't know, man. The commentary community was just a time I wish to forget. Oh, here's one I don't remember. This one takes place during the edgy years during high school, where I drew Digimon. This is sort of my connection to the furry fandom that I originally had, where I absolutely loved Vmon and Flamedramon and Hackmon, and so I drew my edgy version of Flamedramon, which granted, this one wasn't traced, it was from scratch, and I was actually really proud of this one. But you can see the amount of edge just in his eyes. Fun fact, I started watching Tokyo Ghoul around this time, and it very much shows. Oh, and here's a picture of Vmon in a life jacket. I have no clue why I drew it originally, besides, hey, I wanted to see a Digimon in a life jacket, and yeah, the life jacket thing goes far, far back. But I was pretty happy with this, and he looked pretty cute, and it was very fitting. I don't think this ever saw the light of day, but can't blame me. So that's where my inner weeb went. I don't know if you guys recognize what this is. I was watching a lot of Neon Genesis Evangelion when I was in high school. I started with it, absolutely loved it, had a lot of existential crises, but ended up drawing this, which if you don't know, it's Ramiel, the third angel. You should go and watch the anime, it's pretty good. But I really love the design of it because it was just a cube. That was it. And it's like, oh, this is gonna be easy to fight. And then it just transforms into whatever this thing is and blasts Shinji with like the force of 5 nukes into one compressed beam, and it was fantastic. Oh man, good times. I gotta go back and finish up NGE, I don't know what happens. And the final art piece. Not really the final art piece I did, there's a lot more, but that's lost to time. Here's another Vmon in a life jacket. Custom Vmon. He's a surfer. I don't know. Why do I even hold these up if I'm probably going to show him on screen later? He's really cute. Look at how happy he is. He's happy to be a surfer. And he's staying life jacket. How can you disagree with that at all? I totally might laminate this and hang it up somewhere. Or I could give it away. Who knows? Does anyone want this art? Anyone want to buy it? So now that we're through that. Actually, wait. Do I have other sketches? Okay, so I did do some digital art. Oh. Yeah, Yeah, I can't show this. Just downright. Not showing it. At all. So we went over the art that I did during my DeviantArt phase, and yes, I did have a DeviantArt back then, but it's gone to time. I don't know where it went. I think I deleted it in a fit of rage. But what can we learn about this? More so what I've already learned about and what you guys can take from my experiences. The one thing I could recommend out of all this is don't necessarily be afraid of your past, unless you've done something horribly wrong. Like even my case, I was cringing throughout the entire thing, but I learned some things from it. I learned that some of those times in my life were really fun and really interesting. I learned that, yes, tracing is bad, but I also learned that the experiences I had were okay because they shaped who I am today, and they're the reason why I'm in the furry fandom. They're the reason why I've sort of pursued this hobby or interest or even career at this point, not just in YouTube, but the family and friends that I've developed in this fandom. You may have your own DeviantArt phase in your life, or you might have something completely different. But having that experience isn't a bad thing. You may look back upon it and laugh, or you might cringe like I have. In the end, that was you, and use that as a stepping stone to develop who you want to be. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Now apologies if my tone was rather negative in this video. It really isn't my intention, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to do YouTube. And it's not a simple answer because me and a lot of my content creation friends are really figuring out what really drives us and what we really want to do outside of furry YouTube. Of course, I'm still going to give you informational videos and guide you through the fandom through my experiences and knowledge, but there's got to be more to it, and I'm starting to figure that out, and this video was kind of an example of that. So if you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know in the comments. Like, the feedback on this is so greatly appreciated, like more than you know. Putting out a poll on YouTube doesn't really help me as much as you'd think, but constructive criticism and what I did right does help. But other than that, I've got nothing else. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching this around the time when an epidemic is happening, which I don't know when this is releasing, but please stay safe, please wash your hands, please stay healthy, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. So have a good day, guys, and as always, stay life jacket. Take care.